You spend so much energy and time creating stuff, but if you have no idea of algorithms and click and cost per click, you're going to be like, the internet is a scary place. You're going to be like lost. Finance for Hippies is recorded at the Goethe Institute in Johannesburg, South Africa. They enable arts and cultural organizations to be more entrepreneurial so they can create a better society.
The Goethe Institute does this through a global network of hubs where local creatives act as a driving force of economy and culture.
Hit him swag. 2015, cool kid, I met Ndarkie. Ndarkie told me, TeethSwag, I see him, no ways, dude. I told him, odd over money. I told him, dude, odd over money. 3 years passed and my palm's still not itchy. Bank account still small like MT's peepees. Streets need me, Ndarkie, can you feel me? That's why we dropped Finance for Hippies.
TeethSwag Ndarkie. Who needs a budget? Dude, really? Finance for who? Sounds silly. As I think about it, my credit cards are through the ceiling. You don't need a loan. I'll pay you back. Sasa's kicking in on the 15th for sure. The diamond cannot be polished without friction, nor the man be perfected without trials. Good afternoon. Good evening. I don't know what day it is, what time you're listening to Teeth and Swag, but welcome to another episode of Finance for Hippies. And the title of this episode, I don't know. We haven't cracked it, but it's coming.
The title's going to be hot.
The title will be hot.
Yeah.
You'll see it on Insta, because that's where we rule. That's our universe. Teeth, tell me, have you been tested through trials?
I have no idea what you've been talking about. I don't know what trials,
trials and tribulations.
No, man, it's been a tough time, man, since our last show. It's been rough. Yeah, it's actually been tough, man. A lot of interesting things have been happening in the life of TeethSwag. A lot of traumatic things, but also a few good things, man. And hopefully today, I get the generalness of what we're discussing, though, is about making profit online. Maybe we just make that as the title, and then we can spam people, like, those titles online.
Clickbait.
Make money. Clickbait. You need those clickbait ads. But yeah, Ndarkie, just a quick roundup of what we're drinking. A quick one.
What we do on this show usually is that we give a shout out, we plug in product drinks that are usually on the underground, on the coming up. Today we're going to try something a bit more different. We're going to plug in someone who doesn't need a plug.
Exactly.
We're going to give a shout out to someone who's been holding us, our parents down. We're going to hold down someone who's a big corporate, determining our lives, determining the world and how it spins and how fast it spins. We'd like to give a shout out to Coca-Cola. Yes, the original. Coke owns everything. Coke, oh yes, Coke has started that
thing of branding people.
Yeah. They started branding people, and they show you how to pronounce the name of the person. Yeah, we have Matlango. They got it right there. Let me turn it around. Yes. This is the plug-in. Oh yes. Coke, we see you. We need you in our lives. You need to give others a chance, of course. Don't dominate too much, Coke. Sboo, we see you there, studying your more fire.
Yeah.
Sboo is coming, a plug-in, free plug-in. Next time we charge you, Sboo, no problem. But there we go. Big corporates today. Coca-Cola. Our shows are dictated by the needs of our guest.
All right.
We want to make our guest comfortable. When we offered our guest options of drinks, he said non-alcoholic. First thing that came to mind is that, This dude is saving so much money, not buying a car. Teeth, please introduce our guest today.
Yes, it must probably sound weird. You keep hearing this manly laugh in the background. But yeah, we've got a super guest today. Adewale Adejumo. It's probably out of the guests we've had. Can I honestly say that this is a good friend of a guest out of all the guests we've had. Adewale is a digital marketer, business developer, owner of the biggest black-owned online store in the country called Zasttra. And he's also, he's director and founder of Zasttra Ltd. And he's also a blockchain enthusiast who apparently also used to cry when he used to look at food as a kid.
This makes sense, considering the statement he made earlier when we were eating
like those
chicken.
are things I told you in confidence. Like I can't remember when.
That's actually what the audience is here to discuss.
Yeah.
That's what the audience here to find out about. But yeah, what's up, Wale? What's up, man?
Yeah, man. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
That's good.
He's fresh off the TED stage, by the way.
I was about to say that. First time I saw you, we were streaming live your TED Talk that you did 2 weeks ago in Cape Town.
It wasn't 2 weeks ago. People are going to listen to this digitally. It's not going to make it different.
How was your experience on TED? How was it? Was it nerve-wracking?
Yeah, it was very nerve-wracking, eh?
No, but for me, I think you did very well. I believe there's a lot of preparations that goes into doing a TED Talk.
Yes. There was a lot of preparation. Like majority of it was just knowing what you're gonna go and say on on the stage, and also like practicing with your coach and everything. And yeah.
So they give you a coach?
Yes, they do give you a coach. Yeah.
Oh, heaven. Keith, where's my coach? When you pitched this podcast to me, you didn't mention anything about coaches.
No, but still, man, like TED speakers are very celebrated, but it's always interesting. Look, the world of how to prepare for a TED talk it's never really even exposed.
Well, are you wanting me to expose a little bit more about TED, about how they prepare?
It'd be interesting.
Yeah?
It would be interesting.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Okay, no. Like actually, okay, wait. So they've got a lot of volunteers, right?
Okay.
And it's a non-profit organization.
Okay.
And the volunteers are the ones that do everything from, like with the organization, making sure that the event is well organized. From when you arrive to what your favorite drink is as the guest, to just everything as a whole, like the chairs, the tables, with the guests, or all the tags and everything. So the volunteers do all of that, and then with the speakers, every speaker gets a coach. The coach are usually people that either have a lot of speaking experiences, or they. A lot of speaking experiences, or they just enjoy just coaching, and they also coach for free as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for the TED thing. So that's literally just it. And,
okay.
There's one issue I have there. I hear the word free being thrown a lot.
Hey.
We don't roll like that here at Finance for Hippies. We're not going to drop a podcast saying it's called Finance for Hippies and then we throwing around the word free. There's nothing free here, gents. Come through with the bag.
But I think TED is also like a result of I guess on the one side, it's the beauty of like the open source community as well. I think that's why it's found the success that it's had as well, man. But super congrats on that, man. I mean, super congrats on that. Growing up in Nigeria, did you see yourself speaking on TED? Take us through that. Like, how long were you in Nigeria for?
Okay, so
tell us really a bit more about yourself. Who's Wale?
Okay, all right. So I came in when I was 12 with my family.
You remember the day?
Yes, it was on the 12th. We left Nigeria on the 12th of March. No, on the 10th of March. No, 11th of March, my bad.
Okay.
And we arrived to South Africa on the 12th of March, 1997.
Is there nothing significant about those days?
Yes, we left on my birthday. So that was my birthday present So I left Nigeria 11.
This dude just said I'm hot.
11, and I landed in South Africa 12. So I was never the same age when I left Nigeria when I got here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's hard, yeah.
And then he said, made a joke, an internet joke. But I'll leave those out, okay?
Okay, yeah.
So you were there till you were 12?
How was your first day in South Africa?
It was different. You know, people in South Africa generally physically look different to Nigerians.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
Yes,
was
we're smaller. in all departments.
so that was the first. No.
For yourself.
So that was the first. That was the first hot thing, and like I never seen so many white people. So that was the second thing, because in Nigeria, you know, you just see other Nigerians, mostly blacks, and like there was very, very, very few like Indians,
Okay.
you know, more in the university areas, and I think I saw like one white kid and with father and mother with parents once.
In Nigeria?
Yeah, when I was growing up there. So here it was just
Sounds
like,
beautiful, man.
Tell us, do you still go back often? I'm sure back at home, Nigeria. How often do you go check them out?
Nah, I would love to go more. Okay, so
Yeah.
but the last time I was there was in 2012.
Oh, okay.
For my sister's wedding.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so yeah, but I'm definitely planning a trip, maybe sometime next year.
Yeah.
Well, since this is here in 2019, sometimes this year.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
No, that's hot. That's hot. And then I believe if we escalate through the timeline a bit, where you became a person, you went to varsity in UKZN.
Yeah.
I also studied in UKZN actually.
So,
Were you
so did this guy as well.
You did.
Teeth, I won't reveal anything.
I
have a degree there.
Which campus were you in? Teeth?
I was in Pietermaritzburg campus.
And you, Wale?
I was on all campuses except Hedgewood.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I was in Howard College.
Yeah, I was there too.
Yeah. I was the flyest dude there at college. I used to wear
never
ball
heard about
bottoms.
Is it, when were you there? Which year were you there?
Hey man, I don't want to reveal that it took a few more years than I should have in my degree, but I was there, dude.
Okay, cool.
I was there.
Okay, let's leave it there.
But I was hot.
Yeah.
I was killing ball bottoms.
Yeah.
I was fly. Man, I was drinking Cunning Black Label because my immune system was still a bit stronger back then. Now I don't even touch Cunning, man. It's too rough.
Shout out to Colin.
Shout out to Cunning Black Label.
That is beautiful. That was our first awkward silence in the history of the show. We are keeping that. We are keeping that. That's amazing. That's actually in the whole history of the show. So man, you get to South Africa, you see white people, you see black people, and just like, but when you were in Nigeria, interestingly, had you even been exposed like to the internet and stuff? How like that time whilst you were there in comparison to here? Was there? I mean, I know these were like the 40s. You were young because you're old. Like, were there any little things you feel even now that you just picked up and saw that already happening there that shaped who you are now?
It was just like life continued, you know. So there wasn't really much difference. Funny thing is, when I got to South Africa, we get asked questions like, so do you guys have TVs? Yes, we have TVs in Nigeria. We had radios back in 97. We had, we had a lot of things, you know, cars, like everything. We did not walk to South Africa, we flew.
One thing I've noticed about South Africans, they think they are Americans in terms of Africa.
Yeah.
I've always, that little thing that something an American will ask you, so do you guys have, do you see lions and stuff?
Yeah.
It's like a South African asking you, do you have a TV? Of course we have.
Well, South Africa is one of the best countries to come to actually, or to live in. Of all African countries. I haven't been to much. But I've been to countries outside of like around the world, like in Europe and in Asia. I would choose South Africa as a place where I would settle down.
So we fight.
Yes, exactly. So South Africa is It's like the America of Africa. Yeah.
No, screw that. America's the South Africa of America. Of America. Is it?
Yeah.
Wale, so whilst we were doing our research on you, maybe let me push this to you in this way. What do these numbers mean to you? 11.22 and 15.39. 11.22.
Those are seconds in 100 meters when I was probably 15 or 12.
Okay.
And 15.39 sounds like a triple jump distance.
But these numbers are like the IAF website. They're like legit like professional athletes. Like if you Google Ndarkie, Ndakie's got like there's nothing. Ndakie's done nothing useful to be like tracked by like the government or like any important. Or you have like times when you Google online, like your 100-meter times are on there. Your triple jump time.
I wish they would take down that 11.2.
Are those times terrible?
that was a very terrible time. That was probably in the beginning of the season. Okay, so you guys should have searched for best times.
No, these are the times that
not any times.
So what was it?
Just for the listeners out there,
Yeah.
who are IAF?
IWF is the International Athletics Association Federation, right?
Yeah.
And they basically run athletics all over the world. They are the FIFA of, oh actually wait, sorry, let's not say the FIFA of athletics.
So
but they are the governing bodies.
So they're the
of
FIFA.
athletics, yeah.
So yeah, they're the FIFA of athletics.
I was watching a documentary just before I came here about FIFA. You don't want to become paid.
So they're the finance for hippies of podcasts, for example.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Pioneering. No, we're keeping track on everyone and their performance out there.
So and like, but how deep? So it looks like you. I mean, I know this, but he was pretty deep, like in athletics, and I also think it's one of the things that contributed into it, like your thinking and stuff. But like, what dropped you away from that world of athletics?
Okay, so athletics, I was very deep into it, and I was injured. Like I had a very very serious injury back in 2003, and it took me about eight years to actually recover fully from that injury. And I had one goal, and the one goal was to qualify for the South African team. Okay, and then in 2012, I qualified for the South African athletics students, the South African students team.
Yeah.
And I took 2 weeks off, and then it turned to a month, and it turned into a year.
Oh my God!
And that was around the time as well where I was starting to transition and focus more on business.
Yeah.
So the following year, 2013, was when I founded, officially registered my main company, Zasttra, and then so I just like never went back.
So we could be sitting with an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, no.
But I mean, for me, I'm sure the one thing that comes into mind is the discipline and the mindset you have to prepare for such a high level of competition.
Yes, we had to. So, for example, the training, you wake up 5:30 in the morning. You go to the gym. No, sorry, you do a 1 mile run as fast as possible. And then after that, you go to gym. You gym. While you gymming, you're doing plyometrics. And then that's like your morning training. And then off to school, campus, and then in the afternoon, you come after you're done with campus and pracs. You go onto the track. Then you're doing maybe technique, or you're doing sprints, or you're doing like long sprints. So that was pretty much every single day.
I'm sweating.
Except Friday. So yeah, man. So there was a lot of discipline came from actually doing athletics. You can never replace that level of discipline.
Teeth, do you see yourself waking up 5:30 and doing a mile run as quick as possible,
and then
having a whole day of other things you need to achieve? Just do you see yourself there, Teeth? Do you see yourself, Teeth?
Teeth of fire. In fact, for me, it's a 2 minutes. That's how I do it. I do 2 miles, not 2, not 1.
Yeah.
I do 2. I see myself doing that. I'm gonna do that.
Okay, on to the next question. Who, in your opinion, is the most technical wrestler? Kurt Angle or Ric Flair?
Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle. That's hands down Kurt Angle.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true. I believe you're big with the WWE.
Yeah, man. I really enjoy watching I enjoy it, but I haven't had the time in the past maybe year or two to actually really sit down and enjoy. But then recently I saw on my Instagram feed that the Roman Reigns is
back.
No, it's actually going off, right?
He's going off with cancer.
You know, like because he has leukemia, he has cancer. Which
Hey,
is very sad.
that's it.
Yeah.
No, shout out to that powerful Superman punch.
Yeah, man.
I remember that. He used to knock
But
dudes
wait,
out.
I'm a big wrestling fan.
Yeah.
This guy is an even bigger wrestling fan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man.
No, but
he
that-
sends me all these updates. He lets me know what's happening.
I think for me, Tiff's knowledge in wrestling is a bit,
No. Ndarkie, I see what you're coming with. No, I'm probably, there's 2 things no one can touch me on. WWE trivia and probably football as well. And probably
Does it?
soccer. No, soccer, no one can touch me. But WWE...
Funk can touch you.
No,
Not in
funk-
that type of way.
No.
Funk can touch you.
No. Funk can't play with me. But yeah, you can't. No. Not on those 2 subjects. I think I'm probably the hottest in South Africa.
He's a WWE expert. This is what you're looking at.
Exactly. And man. Shout out WrestleMania. We're going, guys. Flipper, what's this? I typed something on our question sheet. Linkin Park. Tell us about Linkin Park, Wale.
Okay, Linkin Park. Damn, you guys have done a lot of research here. So I'm not a fan of any musician. Okay?
Yesterday, what happened was that Teeth was quoting Jay-Z bars. And then Wale was like, who's this? Who's this? And Teeth lost it. This is Jay-Z, man. This is Jay-Z. But you're not into hip-hop, clearly. If you're
I'm into music. Don't confuse it. I'm into music. I love good music.
Yeah.
But I don't really usually know who's singing it, and I don't usually care if I was singing it, right?
That's to all your hippie fans who want to give Wale a mixtape.
you
He doesn't
know.
care who you are. You just have to be hot.
Yes, I see. Music just has to be okay. Yeah.
Linkin Park.
So Linkin Park was. I didn't even know the singers, but I just knew Linkin Park, and I knew the music, and I knew the music when I was growing up, right? In like high school varsity, and that was the only music band that I was a fan of. Okay, not the individuals. Okay, and I'd never been to a concert since I'd never went to a concert up until 2012 November 8th or November 9th. Okay, because I told myself that the only concert I would ever go to was a Linkin Park concert. Every other concert was not worth spending money and standing and just like, why would I go listen to a song that I can just listen to at home, right?
No, that's for sure.
So yeah, but Linkin Park was the only one. And I remember in 2012, Linkin Park came and I bought a ticket for Linkin Park. I was staying in Maritzburg, right? Bought a ticket for Linkin Park in Cape Town. I didn't care who was going, which everything was going. I just knew that I was going.
That sounds like a Ndarkie decision.
I know the facts are right.
So I just knew I was going. And yeah, so that was the first concert I ever went to in my life in 2012.
Can I ask you a stupid question?
Yeah.
Who are the members of Linkin Park again? How many?
Okay, I know Chester. I know him because, of the recent.
Yeah.
And I know there's the half Japanese, and I know guy who raps. I don't know his name. He is the
Mark Shinoda.
yeah, Shinoda.
Shinoda.
And I know
Isn't
there's
that
a
guy
really
that goes road for Jay-Z's track?
I don't know.
That this guy was,
Okay, and I know they've got like a really good MC guy. But I don't know his name. I still don't know.
He's hot though. That's what.
But but I'm still a Linkin Park fan.
When was the last time they released an album? But anyway,
They actually released one quite recently. Really good one. Yeah.
Serious. And do you think TeethSwag Ndarkie could get a feature? What do you think our chances?
No, I'm cool with the Linkin Park feature. I'm not going to go through the Jay-Z.
We got a mixtape coming out. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
The Finance for Hippies mixtape. It's gonna be so hot. It's called Get Rich or Die Hippie. I genuinely think since your Linkin Park performance, when you come and see Teeth Ndarkie, you're gonna get a ticket to the show.
General access.
General access.
No VIP.
to come see Teeth.
You guys do know EPs can also become rich, right?
What do you mean EP?
You say get rich or die a hippie. You can die a rich EP or die a poor EP.
Yeah, it's good. Get rich or die hippie. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Both options are hot. Both options are fire. Get rich. Those are the only two options in life. Get rich or die hippie. Anything else doesn't matter. Yeah, you can be a hot hippie. Sure.
Okay.
So tell me a bit about the sort of mentality you had from sports training to such a high level, and then how it translated to your business, the company you established, Zasttra, and how that helped you. What did you bring in from that section of sports to business, which is something you'd think the disciplines of sports one wouldn't really apply in business, but I'm sure something was carried over.
Okay. All right. So with sports was just a discipline, and the ability to continue trying to achieve something, and that you're not really achieving, but just to keep trying. Basically not giving up. So that was so that's what sports brought into business. But if you're just looking at sports, you'll be looking at things from just from one angle. If you look at it more holistically, then you'll have to consider the education as well, or where you're gonna get there. Like the education as well. You'll have to consider. The education, and also just my personal interest as well. So the education side was like doing research for for example that played a huge role with like in terms of like knowing what's going on in the industry, and like knowing what to go into, knowing what to sell, knowing what to create, knowing which problems people want to be solved the most. Okay, so the research aspect actually helps a lot with that. And then
What did you study at UKZN? We never got to that.
I started off with a genetics degree.
Hey man.
Okay. So
you are not only physically fire, but the mind is also fire as well.
Exactly.
No, Teeth. This is the show. We
hardest
are holistically doing well. We are brilliant. For sure. So, what led you to study something of this nature, which is a bit different from you think you
That's
do?
a bar, Doug. You dropped the bar. Something of this nature.
Yeah, no,
That's hot.
I don't even realize that I'm hot. But you usually, when you're doing your athlete, you'd lean towards, I think, sports management or courses related to whatever you're doing. But you are doing something totally different.
Yeah, so I've always liked to do stuff that I don't know much about. So if I'm playing sports, why would I now want to go and study sports? I'm already doing it.
Yeah.
So go study something else that you want to do. So for me, like science was just a very obvious choice because it helped to answer a lot of questions about just like life itself. Just understanding biology and like life, and So I'm a very
That sounds
scientific.
like art.
I'm a very scientific guy, in terms of the way I think. So from a very young age, I've always had an interest in biology.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do science, and science to me wasn't chemistry, it wasn't physics. It was more about learning more about life. Yeah, so that's why I went into genetics. Yeah.
There was actually a very interesting genetic story that broke this week. I'm not sure if you saw it. Some guy just he like genetically made the first twin babies.
Oh yeah. Wasn't it about, is it twin babies or
It was
about
twins, yeah.
or about giving kids what's it called, immunity to HIV.
All I know is that he altered their genetics, and
Yeah.
then the kids,
The kids are hot. This is what.
Well, the thing is, but he did it like against like the law and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
So
I
it's
see.
quite interesting. It happened in China. I know I'm giving a very dumbed down.
I don't
Yeah.
really. Okay. So you see, the thing is, we've all been genetically modified for hundreds of thousands of years.
So about making profit online as a hippie, because where this is gonna open a can of worms. So, but finish that train of thought. We've all been.
No, but,
please, can you finish that? Please.
Okay, so now that we're actually able to do it a lot faster, I just think it's just the next step to our evolution.
No, it's
Yeah.
a fair point. It's a
Yeah.
fair point. For me,
He sounds like the architect on the Matrix. This is one.
no, but for me,
He's like the next level. Okay.
For me, this evolution argument, I've always leaned towards it. I've never really, understood how it's like for me, but I'm going to go against who I was promoting just now. Sorry, dude. But it's like these soft drinks, right? If you consider like our generation and the amount of, let's say, sugar and the amount of carbonated drinks we drink right now. Historically, this is probably the highest level of the consumption of these products. At no point were we consuming carbonated drinks at this rate. So I wonder, what is the effects of drinking carbonated drinks on a person's body? We were never really
We were never really ready. So
Yeah.
So why can't we now alter our genome to then be able to maybe process these things a lot better and a lot faster? Like if people are against that, then you should be against the companies that are progressing faster than our biology is able to actually handle. Don't you guys think that's a fair statement to make?
It's a hard statement.
It's a hot statement.
Yeah.
For me, I think we need to take things slowly. Acceleration is quicker things. Wale, let's get into the meat of this braai now. What propelled you to start your online business? How did it really start?
Okay. How it really started. First question, what propelled me to make money?
The bag.
All right. So how did it start? It just started first. I was writing. I was writing on a blog. Writing and trying and writing about how to work from home.
Oh,
so I was
okay.
doing a lot of research, and then I stumbled across selling online.
Okay.
Being able to buy things from China, from those famous Chinese websites, and then bring it to the country. So yeah, Alibaba, right? So I went on there, and then I wrote about it, and then I was like, hey, wait a minute, why don't I do this? And then buy from Alibaba, and then sell to people. So I actually initially didn't start online. I started from just selling to guys, selling people in person. I sold him a tablet.
Teeth told me that you were selling PlayStation joysticks to people who didn't have PlayStations. That's how hot you are.
Hey man, those things were compatible to PlayStation and PC.
Wow!
Exactly. So yeah, so that's literally just how I started, just buying things from China,
Yeah.
marking up, and then selling to.
Was Alibaba as hot as they were?
No, they weren't that. Okay, so they were quite hot back then, but there were other major players in the industry then, which obviously now they've taken a backseat to Alibaba and AliExpress. So yeah, but they were quite prominent back then as well.
Alibaba is hot right now. I don't
Very.
want to lie.
Very.
Alibaba is hot right now. Jack Ma has done an incredible job. He's I don't know, but they're taking over the world right now.
Yeah, Jack Ma deserves all the respect because that guy's done a lot for the Chinese people with his companies. He's done a lot for them. A lot. Put them on a global scale.
Yeah. How does this now? You were just, honestly buying online from Alibaba and selling to the people on the streets. When did we now switch to the digital space?
Okay. So I switched.
Sorry, before we even get there, can I cut you off there?
Interject.
Take a step back. You've already told me you found stuff online and start selling on Alibaba. That process alone, there's somebody sitting there right now who's probably like,
Okay.
that sounds easy, but like practically, like what are the steps?
So how practical is that?
Please remember your question
So
as well.
what I did back then was go onto online marketplaces, go and find what the best sellers are. So if you go to an online marketplace, there's several in South Africa, including our platform as well. You can go check best sellers, and that's a good indication already of what people in South Africa are looking for. Which items are hot. So that was the basic first step: research, and then bought the stuff that I.
The stuff that you saw that
stuff
was
I
selling
found.
well.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Okay.
And those things sold very well.
No, okay. No, that was probably
Very,
the best
very
move.
best, yeah.
So you didn't sell what you feel like selling, but you sold what is actually in demand.
Rule number 1 in marketing: you don't create demand, you meet people's demands.
Hack
Okay.
number 1, right? Finance, we're on fire.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting. I've never heard that.
Yeah. So it's all about what people want. If you meet those demands, then you make money.
Like your music.
For sure. We just had a discussion regarding music, but we'll not go there. He asked me who is going to listen to the type of music I made, because the young kids don't listen to G Unit and 50 Cent's type of style
And
tracks.
you know what Ndakie's answer was?
I'll throw it on the wall and see what sticks.
Oh, wow.
That is a strategy.
That's not a strategy
that's
I would
the-
use though.
There's a business model behind my music.
Behind
Throw it out there
Ndakie's
and see. No, that's very interesting, especially from your practical view. So someone literally now, because digitally I think things are even more efficient. Someone can really buy stuff now with, let's say you have 10,000 Rand, buy whatever you think will sell them quickly and margin it up.
Okay, so digitally,
No. You dumbass Ndakie. That's not what I meant.
Okay.
Damn hippie.
I'm trying to give to my people here. There's a dude out there in the hood thinking, let me go get some vuvuzelas or something and margin them up.
yeah. So wait, can you rephrase that question?
So my question is,
Dumbass question.
no, my question is, but it was your question to begin with. So now, let's say I'm into skinny jeans, and I think skinny jeans are going to be hot, but not the usual ones, the one with half of the leg is gone. And I think they're going to be hot. I got 10,000 bucks. I'm going to buy 1,000 jeans. They're coming through. And margin them up 300 Rand. And sell one jean for 1,300 Rand. Do you think this is a good model?
Okay, so it is a model that you can follow, but it's not what I recommend. Okay, because back in 2011, when I started, selling things to people and bringing things in, that was great back then. It was probably great 5 years ago as well. Maybe it was great 4 years ago. But now, what I recommend to anyone that actually wants to start an online business is you don't need to go through all of that, buying things from Alibaba and then bringing it in, and then going through things like customs, because then you're gonna need things like import licenses and like all of those, and then the VAT and the duties that you pay on your goods as well. You want to avoid all of that. What I recommend is find what you're looking for. You're in Johannesburg. You guys have a Chinatown. Okay, you can bring things in and it will be cheaper than it will cost you if you had to go and buy it yourself from China. But buy it yourself from China or from Alibaba. Okay. Yeah. So you can easily get what you want to sell from China more. There are a few importers around South Africa as well. All you have to do is just probably go search Google South African importers, importers in South Africa, and or you Google some China something that's to do with South Africa, and you can easily find information to actually get what you
want to sell.
Get what you want to sell.
Oh, okay.
So South Africa is developing with a lot of importers and also people identifying that gap in the country. Yeah, with regards to supply of goods.
Okay.
Yeah,
for sure. I think we should take this opportunity to give you a chance to describe Zasttra. What is an online digital store? Because this is what you have, this is what you are running. Am I correct?
Yes.
Let's clearly describe it to the people that what we're talking about.
Okay. So an online digital store is basically a store that you go to online, similar to a retail store, but it's just in the digital space, and you're able to go there and look for what you want to buy and buy your goods and check it out. Everything is done virtually. Instead of going through a cashier, you go through an online checkout. You make a payment, or you can select cash on delivery, and then the goods, instead of you now buying it physically, it gets delivered to you by a delivery mailman or
Teeth. Delivered by Teeth.
Yeah.
In a scooter.
Exactly.
The only thing I made is bars.
So that's what a digital. So that's the definition of a digital store.
So that's a digital store.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, how then it would come from the definition that you're making is, from what I'm seeing online, there seems to be so much activity where people can run their own stores as well. So if I'm looking at a place like Zasttra, at the end of the day, that sounds like that's okay. So you're Zasttra, but then that sounds like, okay, you're a store, but how can that benefit me as a business, as a young entrepreneur? Because Zasttra, then for me, it just sounds like, okay, cool, it's a pick and pay, I can go and buy stuff. But if I'm a young entrepreneur, what are the opportunities for me from something like from a digital store, from an online store?
All right. So Zasttra is an online marketplace where it allows different companies to open up their own stores. So within Zasttra, you as an entrepreneur can open up your store. Starts from free of charge, and then you can load your products and you can direct your customers to go and buy from your store on Zasttra. Okay, so which will have your own within the Zasttra website will have your own branding and your own logos. Okay, and you can direct people there. So instead of building your store from scratch and paying developers, if you don't have the money for all of that, you can start you can have a store within a marketplace.
That platform.
Within a platform.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
to actually sell your goods for free.
First month though.
Free. For free first month for all plans, but there's a free plan for people with small amounts of product.
Okay.
And then as your products range, numbers increases, then you can go on to bigger plans.
So I'm selling. I've seen a demand in universities for paint brushes or canvases, for example.
Yeah.
So I can buy those, and then instead of me opening up a physical store, I can go on like a Zasttra.
You can go online Zasttra
and set up a...
Yes. And you basically set up an online storefront that you can direct people to. So even when you post onto like your Facebook and whatnot, and people are asking, where can I buy? You could always direct them your storefront there, like on Zasttra, because one of the very, very important things with when you start anything online or when you start any business is you need to market it. Okay. You need to market it really, really hard. If you don't put marketing behind it, it won't be as successful. You could always rely on the marketplace's marketing. However, for you to get your own store, like very well noticed, you need to put some boom,
so put some
behind
energy
it.
into it. So it's one of those things where if I'm selling these products, then I need to kind of promote it for myself. But then
or you could even learn the tricks, learn how the algorithms, on say, and this is just for any online marketplace. Learn the algorithm so you know what to do in the first couple of days or weeks to make sure that your product now starts to rank higher up in the
algorithm.
Yes,
this algorithm word.
This brings me to my next question. Let's say I'm listening out there, Teeth and Ndarkie on fire. Wale hits you the word algorithm. And you don't know what the hell these dudes are talking about. Then you start asking yourself, if I'm not technological or digitally inclined, is it really possible to really go into this space of studying a digital online business?
Okay, so I'll answer two questions there, right? Okay, the first one is like algorithm.
Yeah.
Okay, algorithm is just a pattern. Okay, so for example, if you go onto any like online websites, you want to see which products are, for example, ranked higher up in the search when people search for stuff. So you see those products that are usually rank higher up in the top will be among products that have like hot or bestseller, or delivered next day. Okay, so you want to make sure that you first, you try to get a couple of sales for your products. Maybe when you first load your product onto any marketplace, reduce the price. So you get a few people prefer your price, and then your product becomes hot, and then you can then up the price back to the normal price. So now your product now sits in the top of the search of their sites. Okay, so that's just simple. So it's just looking for patterns such as which products are shown more often, by the online website.
Try and get into that algorithm.
Yes.
I see.
And then the second one, if you're not technology advanced, technologically inclined, can you get into the online space? Yes, you can. Okay, but you don't necessarily need to get into the online space from having a storefront like perspective.
Yeah.
And being an online seller, but you can be an online supplier. Okay, so you can supply to other businesses online. Okay, so so you can be a supplier to online retailers, so currently there's a website that will be releasing in the next couple of weeks or months, just before this will probably hear it. It's called Dropstore.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and Dropstore basically aims to bring people who are not technologically inclined to be able to sell online, but you won't be selling online to consumers. You'll be selling online to other businesses.
Oh, okay.
So Dropstore would connect, would allow you, for example, to load your product, all right, and then it to be plugged into the online storefront of online retailers.
Okay.
So when customers place orders on their storefront, the orders come onto Dropstore, and then you are able to then see the orders coming from like different online storefronts all over the country. Okay, and then the store owners then pays you. Okay, so you send it online, but you don't send online to the consumers. You send online to businesses.
Wait, okay, practicalize this maybe. Yeah. I want to sell 10, iPhones. I've got 10 iPhones.
Mixtapes. Let's say I completed my mixtape. I printed I burned the CD. I've got 100 mixtapes ready and packed. How do I join in?
Okay. So how you basically join in if you don't already have a system that we need to plug into?
Yeah.
Is you go onto Dropstore, register as a supplier.
Yeah.
Once your account gets approved, you load your 10 mixtapes. Okay. You've loaded just onto one platform, Dropstore. And now what happens is now your mixtape is now available to say 1,000 online retailers
No way.
that are already plugged. They're already plugged into Dropstore. They're already selling products on Dropstore. So then they can then go, okay, cool.
So they
can then be like, okay, cool. I want to add this onto my store. So they don't have to now worry about the cost of buying the goods, of signing contracts with you, of talking to you, of do anything. Just choose the product, choose your mixtape, add onto their store. And
you don't have to even be part of that process.
You don't have to be part of that
process.
process.
Just upload it to Dropstore.
You just upload to Dropstore. And then once the order gets
that
placed...
sounds like magic.
Once the order gets placed on their storefront...
Ndarkie is shaking his head.
Once an order gets placed on their storefront, that information gets carried through to you, and all the store owner just needs to do is just make a payment to you via credit card, and then you just ship the item to that customer. So you don't have to deal with thousands of customers. You just deal with like one platform. Yeah, one platform.
But I also think
hard.
the key word that I keep seeing in your algorithm. See, I'm hot now. I'm catching patterns. But I think the weird thing, honestly, and I think what's been maybe useful for you as well is the thing that I keep seeing coming up is research. Now, online cultures, everyone's on a rush when they're online. But somehow you seem to have this mentality of actually doing research. People usually are too lazy to do their research. And this, again, can be a hack. But I know I'm speaking for myself, even as a creative, especially, people just want to get their stuff out. But research... How do you discipline yourself to that part of doing things? Because the whole time it seems like clearly like something that's very big in how you think and how you execute things, that you do your homework on a lot of stuff, and people don't do that. Do you think that's a mentality? Do you see that happening a lot, or am I just like talking out my butt?
So, my bad. I'm so sorry. Okay.
So do you think people don't do their research? Okay.
So research, when people hear that word, people usually think it's like it has to be something complex. It's actually very simple. Okay, you just have to follow several logical steps. And the first one is just have one question. Okay, what do you want to find out? Which product sells the best in South Africa?
Let's apply those steps to our product here. Finance for hippies, right? Let's apply a few steps.
Wait, but he's answering it. Don't you want him to?
No, I'm giving him a practical example to carry through the example. One question. What is that one question that we can ask ourselves about our product, Finance for Hippies?
Okay. So, if you're looking for something to sell, you ask what is the best products to sell in South Africa, and then that will be what you're looking for. When you're doing some research on that.
The podcast.
Okay? So if you focus on that one question, you usually find your answer within maybe 10 to 30 minutes of just searching online. Okay, that's not a lot of time. So research doesn't have to take a lot of time. Okay, like if it's hot, you want to, for example, focus on if you're looking for places to exhibit, which are the best places to exhibit? It's just a simple question. Okay, that's research.
But I also think research can have what's this, I don't want to call it research fallacy, but it's almost like, as you're saying, something can take you 30 minutes. Okay, we have a podcast. We want it to be like the dopest podcast. So what are the best avenues to promote your podcast, right? Maybe that's the question. But next thing, as you said, that could take you 20 to 30 minutes. But for some reason, you want to sit and take 4 or 5 hours researching. It's like you want more and more evidence. Next thing you said for 4 and 5 hours.
That's often because people start with a question and then they just getting sucked into deeper and deeper idea. People don't actually focus on what the initial question actually is. Okay, which is want to find out what is the best product. Another one as well is if you want to start an online store, you have to ask yourself, the question I ask myself is, what are the top 10 online selling platforms in the world? And that's what I did back in 2012 when I was starting to actually, wanting to start an online store. So, and then do my research on that. Simple, went to top10reviews.com, find the top 10, and then within, like, say, 30 minutes, I knew pretty much which platform I was going to be using back then.
The question we should be asking ourselves, Teeth, is who are the top 10 podcasters in South Africa?
Finance for EPs is number 1.
And then number 2 is episode 1. Number 3,
listeners,
episode 2.
If you're listening out there, please go on our Instagram page at Tabing. I know I'm not digitally. At Mr. Media X. Tell us, who are you listening to in terms of podcasts? Who do you think is hotter? Who do you think is second best to us? We'd like to know what you guys are into, what you're listening to, because we think we're the hottest dudes out here, man. We fire.
I think this is fire. Yeah, so you were completing, were you done with what you were saying?
Yes.
Okay. So what I actually lost now my train of thought.
I'll kick in here. Okay. How did you become a digital marketer? First of all, what is a digital marketer?
A digital marketer is someone that does marketing in the digital space.
Another stupid question from Ndarkie. I'm on a roll today.
I would like to publicly apologize for that brain fart from Ndarkie. We quickly.
So how I got into digital marketing. All right. So back in 2013, I went and did a postgrad diploma in finance, banking, investment, and marketing. Right.
After you finished
No, while I was doing the masters. So concurrently, I get asked, where did you find the time? I did them at the same time. Okay. So yeah, man. So I did that because I realized that one tool that you need more than anything to succeed in business is you need to be a good marketer. Because when you're starting a business, you're not making money. You can't pay anyone. Your number one role or job as a business owner when you start out is you need to be the marketer.
Thank you for those words.
Okay. Right. So I quickly realized that I needed to go and learn marketing because I was very interested in like marketing, the business I wanted to now register online. So learned the basics and the principles, things you already often know, but you don't realize it until you then taught it. And then I applied it while I was learning it in the classes in the evenings. And I learned and I just read and like a lot of stuff about different types of digital marketing. Like fields, fields out there, or different categories like your SEO, your SEM, like all of those. SEO, search engine optimization.
You're speaking gibberish.
And SEM is search.
Let me just run with it. Let's just go with it.
He saw it in my eyes that I have lost Ndarkie.
Okay, yeah. So I lost my train of thoughts.
It's search engine optimization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just basically knew that I needed to learn how to market within the digital space.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into it, and I got learning and cracking and wins and losses, and so I basically mastered it. Yeah, so that's how I became a digital marketer.
Quite interesting. But I also think the process of becoming a digital marketer it's intense, but there seems to be two worlds online. There seems to be selling products, but obviously we're living with the social media as well. What in terms of digital marketing, what do those things just work together, or what kind of is more important to get good at? There's guys who are very popular on social media, but they can't sell their products. And then there's guys who can sell the hell out of their products, but their social media, you know, they can't get presence on social media, or they're not good with those kind of things. What do those two worlds that coexist?
Okay, so firstly, social media marketing is digital marketing.
Okay.
They all fall under the umbrella of digital marketing. Okay. So a guy that can sell his product, is it a guy that can sell his product in person, but he can't sell it on social media? Is that what your question is?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay, so a guy who can sell his product in person, yes, it's good with like physical marketing, but there's digital marketing. So he needs to either get someone that's really good at digital marketing, or he needs to get good at digital marketing.
Here's Ndarkie, he's got a hot mixtape. He believes it's the hottest thing. But so what? Does he go to social media, or does he go to a store online to get himself out there?
He has to use both. You can't focus on like one thing, you know, and not do something else. Like, do you put oil in your engine, but don't put water? You know, you need to have an holistic approach, and that just forms part of your marketing strategy, where you need to consider the social media. You need to strategize how to use social media. Best practices. You need to make sure that your music is easily available as well. So you want it on as many platforms as possible, online platforms, you know, streaming services that, you know, So you need to, look, you need to market your product, but people need to also be able to know where to go and buy it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is almost like, I mean, if you've got a good product and you're not marketing it, it almost sounds like it's quite pointless to have that product, right?
It's like building a shop in the desert, in the middle of nowhere.
The hottest shop.
The hottest shop
in the desert.
You know, so if you have a hot track and you don't market it,
You don't release it, yeah.
or like hot products,
Yeah.
and you don't market it, it's not gonna see that a day. Yeah.
From a scale of 1 to 10, how hot are you as a digital marketer? 1 being teeth, and 10 being you are a Google employee. How would you rate yourself?
I rate myself 10.5.
Whoa! That's the heat we need. That's the heat we need right there. But in terms of to be a 10.5, you don't do the biggest style and hit it escalator style, right? I'm sure you made a few mistakes during your trip to being a 10.5. Are there any mistakes that you recall that are memorable and you've never forgotten at this day in your digital marketing learning curve?
Yeah, there's plenty of mistakes that I can remember that I will never forget. So I've made quite a lot of mistakes, and that's how you often learn. You know, it's not so digital marketing, because it's still a relatively new field. You couldn't really you are in the frontier of it. You basically make the mistakes. It's not like all the people have made the mistakes before you, and then now you can learn from it. Yeah. So it's all very new. You make mistakes every once in a while. The most memorable mistakes I've made, yikes. Thinking that the higher or the more I bid on, say, clicks, that's the more money we would make, and not actually realizing
the more you bid on clicks,
you know, and
I can guarantee you've thrown
the more
Ndarkie
traffic.
off.
So we've got a lot of traffic.
You've thrown him off. He doesn't understand the term you've just
Okay,
said.
all
The
right.
more you bid on clicks, what does it mean, Ndarkie? Explain that.
When you say the more you bid on clicks, is that there's a picture there on the store of a click, then you bid on it, you click that, you keep bidding on the click. That's the term, the more you bid on clicks.
No. Okay, so let me explain this.
Explain it in English.
Let me explain it in English, okay? So when you're advertising online, right?
Yeah.
You're advertising for spaces, say on Google search.
Yeah.
Those advertisements people see, those are all people are bidding for the ads to show for those particular keywords that you've typed when you're doing a Google search.
Okay.
Okay. So every time you people click on those like ads, me, the marketer pays.
Yeah.
Like in amount because I've bid like the highest.
Okay.
Okay.
I
So
thought I was getting paid here, but let's roll with it. Let's roll with it.
okay. So there was a time when we spent a lot of money.
It's finance for hippies. You can be
Okay.
comfortable
So
with
we
numbers.
spent a lot of money to try and gain clicks
Get
for
people to click,
you know,
yeah.
that on like all these like keywords that people search for the most, and then realizing that bringing people to the website doesn't necessarily translate to you making money, because you make money. However, you spending so much on the clicks. Okay, so that was a huge mistake. Now we probably paying like 1/10 of or even 1/20th of what it would cost or what we used to pay, and we getting about 2 to 3 times the amount of like clicks and traffic coming onto the website. So
do you know what I think is quite fascinating about you saying, and I think I'm unpacking this as you're speaking. I really think something like master classes would actually be very interesting for you to do those things in collaboration with Finance for Hippies, because like real talk, like digital marketing is such a critical thing right now. Everyone sitting here is a creative. Everyone sitting here needs, like here in this podcast, needs to understand how to promote and sell their products. But I'm telling you right now, what you're saying, it's easy to you, but it's actually like it's knowledge that comes very easily to you. It's knowledge that if everyone here actually applied to their businesses, could change phenomenally what everyone is doing. Like the podcast could be hot. Sifang's music could be so much more in people's faces. Cameraman's films would be the hottest online. No, I'm serious. But a lot of it's just interesting that as creative thinkers, we're very good at creating stuff. But the marketing side is there's a big disconnect between creating things and putting them out there, because the relationship is so close. You spend so much energy and time creating stuff, but if you have no idea of algorithms and click and cost per click, you're going to be like, the internet is a scary place. You're going to be like lost. Master classes, we need to
master classes, definitely. I also think that master classes will be great for people that are interested in learning about digital. Okay, say you just want to create your art. Then just create your art, and then collaborate with someone that's really good with the marketing and with the digital aspect of it. You don't have to, you don't have
specialize in that.
You don't have to specialize in that too. Exactly. Yeah. So you can learn the master classes, and while we're on the master class, we actually are wanting to offer that in a program to help build sustainable businesses. Yes.
That would be good.
But personally, I think it would be better for people that already have an interest in digital marketing
to do that. Look, I definitely get what you're saying, because it's I guess it's a craft on its own. So if you're a musician, you're not gonna go and become the hottest digital marketer.
Let's put it this way. I'm a digital marketer. I'm not gonna go and try and become the artist musician. Because I have an interest in music. You get it.
For sure. I just think though it's important that sometimes people lack the understanding of those worlds coexisting together.
Because you're the manufacturer and you're the maker, doesn't mean that you should also be the marketer.
But sometimes I look at the relationships us as creatives also make are not strong and good enough. So going and putting out your stuff and getting likes for it is not actually as valuable as having a relationship with a marketer who could keep you above board for like 6 months to a year and actually get your help you build relationships,
collaborations and partnerships,
relationships online. And I think how has been the hack for you to that? Like, being online is scary, but how do you keep loyal customers and relationships? I mean, especially with people you don't know. How have you figured out those kind of things? Because you've got a brand, it's online, but to keep it going, it means you have to figure out how to keep loyal customers, relationships. How?
Okay, so one, you need to make sure that you're offering very, very good service. Okay. Two, you need to make sure that your marketing is on point. Your marketing, it's not just what you send to people, it's also the visual aspect as well. Like of, say, your business. The way, like the way you, like what your, like how your brand is perceived. Okay. So while we touching on the marketing aspect, right? How we make sure we retain customers is that the most expensive and usually way to actually get the most expensive time when people come to your online store is the first time they come and visit you. Okay. So what we often do is, in order to make sure that they come back, we market to them after they leave the site by using things like cookies. Right. So it's basically an information that's stored on your computer that sends information to Google without getting too technical, that basically allows us to continue advertising to you wherever you go, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on Google. So we want to make sure that that our brand stays in your mind for a few longer days after you've actually visited. So that's so customer service, and making sure that you have your marketing and your remarketing and your message, like correct as well. Yeah. So those are the two main things, and obviously making sure that you keep your promises to your customers, and you always have what that customer is looking for, like on your platform. So if someone likes buying soap from you, your brand, so from your online store. They
do like buying soap from us, but they call it bars.
You got a bar.
Exactly.
I don't get the joke. You have to explain what is bars. What is bars? What is bars?
A bar. Actually, Ndarkie, you explain.
So bars, there's a technical musical definition to bars, and then there's the street version of bars. I'll give you the street version. Bars are your rhymes.
Oh.
When you're a rapper. That's the loose definition of it. Funk can get technical and split it into the beats and the bars.
Funk is the musicologist.
But for me, it's how hot your rhymes are. He got bars. Ndarkie got bars.
So say you got bars, right? And people come to buy bars from you. Okay? Let's use bars, okay? Let's use bars.
Yeah.
You want to keep your fans happy and loyal by continuing to release new bars.
Correct.
And making sure that each bar is just as good as the last bar.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Okay? Yeah, exactly. And also making sure that those customers know, when those bars are released by subscriptions. So that's also another very, very good retention strategy as well.
Subscription.
Making sure you're offering subscriptions.
This is something Teeth said to me last night, and I wasn't really feeling
and loyalty.
it, but now I'm feeling it because it's coming from you. Now I'm feeling it.
Look, I really think I'd also just like you to maybe touch more in depth about the stuff then that you said you're going to venture into. The things that you said you're going to venture into as well, in terms of not master classes, but I think that's a very interesting thing that you're saying, that if I'm sitting and listening to this, what are you going to be training people, getting them on board? What are you saying is going to be happening? Like, what are the kind of plans to help people, where obviously the people who want to know how to do this stuff, but also just people who are interested in getting empowered with doing their business online? What are your plans, and what's going to be happening? Because you touched on that, you'll be doing that.
Okay, so it's a social development initiative where we are wanting to I don't like to use the word empower loosely.
Okay.
However, what we want to do is take people that already have a genuine interest within the digital space, and then taking them into this program where they are able to start their own businesses, and take them through cluster workshops of different master classes, and then after that be able to offer mentorship to them from experts within the e-commerce industry for a period of up to about 1 year. Okay. So the whole goal of that is to build sustainable e-commerce businesses within South Africa, and we've got the right skilled people. We've got one of the packages, which is Drop Store, which solves a huge problem for online retail for anyone. For anyone without any money that wants to start an online store, for anyone with 1,999 rand or probably $1,000.
Why do you point at me
Okay.
and look at
No,
me?
no, I'm like
Anyone who doesn't have any money to open an online store, you just look at me and he points at me.
Okay, no, I wasn't making any direct like references to you. Okay, but what this program basically does is working with software developers. We are able to we will be able to help people who are within the digital space, okay, and then working with other NGOs that work with crafters, saying like Kalicha, because they make some really nice stuff down in Cape Town. Working with some NGOs as well, we're able to bring a lot of the products of stuff that you wouldn't normally find online.
Yeah,
we'll be able to bring those items online.
Yeah.
through the supplier side of things.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
think
we got some really big stuff for this year, 2019.
Yes.
One quick question from me.
We have the tail end, so let's get.
Or have you ever been to Japan?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay.
You've been to Korea, right?
Yes, I've been to Korea.
Okay. I told Ndarkie he'd been to Japan. I mixed it up.
Okay. Yes. No, yeah.
One thing, you see, in all honesty, I haven't done as much traveling as I would like to. But one thing I've always wanted to compare is certain type of mindsets between different cultures. If you were to compare the Nigerian brothers, the South African brothers, the Korean brothers. When I say brothers, of course, I include the ladies. I'll never leave out the ladies. But
Thank you for that deal.
what are the different mindsets that you find different in different types of groups of people you meet?
Okay,
in terms of business.
So in terms of business,
Yeah.
I don't want to classify people into races.
No,
because
let's
even
not, yeah.
no. I mean, like I can.
Yeah.
But in this, I can't really. So we can go by country, and we can even break countries down into tribes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So in Korea,
Yeah.
for example, they are very hardworking. So I've been to Korea, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Very, very hardworking. Those guys wake up early, work from 7, 8, 9 till night time. Okay, like at night, like these cities are usually still buzzing because people only just maybe going home or something like that. Like the trains and the subway trains end at about like 11. Because some people are only just leaving work, like later on the time. Nigeria is also very, very similar, where the work ethic is just really, people work. Like you go out at like 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. There's still just street vendors with a generator to power a single light bulb, so that they can still carry on selling at night.
Okay, that's too hard work. So clearly, that's too hard. South Africa is still not mentioned yet. That's too hard work. Is it a hat trick, or are we just
South Africa?
Are we deleting? Okay,
Guys,
I know for a fact.
I am a proud South African.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Nigerian born, came here, and now I'm a proud South African. Like any immigrant that goes to the USA says, I'm a proudly American.
Yeah.
I'm proudly South African.
Yeah.
Okay. Our people.
What are we hot at? Let's focus on what we are hot at.
Being fly.
Okay.
Our people are quite efficient. Okay. In the work that we do, I do think that we need to be a bit more hardworking. Like here in South Africa, we still have things good, like in terms of in terms of like having our economy still intact. I think we're one of the few African nations that have actually managed to actually keep. But I definitely feel like South Africa is a bit too relaxed. Even when it comes to online, like online retail and online shopping, South Africa is still one of the few countries where you find Toys R Us. Toys R Us closed down in most of the countries, all over the world, because people preferring online. So whereas in South Africa, it's still one of the few countries where if you open up a retail store versus an online store, your retail store will still outperform your online store. However, I'm not saying don't do online stores. I'm saying online stores is still a very good option because it's showing an upward trend. Okay, as you know, compared to a retail store is not moving like upwards as much as online is. Like online is growing really, really fast.
Just like podcasts.
Exactly. That's why Teeth and Ndarkie at the forefront of this will be the forefathers, the Tupac and Biggies of podcasts.
Before you ask your question, we down to our last 2 or 3 questions.
For sure. I don't like time limits when I'm hot. This is when I'm usually hot, but that's good.
Ndarkie's buzzing.
Yeah. So when you mentioned this, I think we briefly touched on it on a general perspective yesterday. We can keep it at that. This sounds like performance is very important to you. Do you generally apply this across your business and everywhere? How important is performance on a day-to-day, making sure that you improve on your time as an athlete? Is that still important to you?
Yes, performance is very important to me. So with regards to people that I work with, people that work within my company, it's about getting the best performances out of them. And some people that I work with, it's about working with people who are genuinely high performers, because you want to work with someone that you don't have to tell what they must do or to their job. There should be an expert that tells what needs to be done. So in general, our performance is very important. Otherwise,
this is why Teeth selected. He didn't really selected me. He came through to me and requested me I join him because he knows I'm a performer. When the camera guy says action, when Funk says we're ready, he knows Ndarkie is going to bring it. But to bring in another question, which is around the shift in the landscape of the digital space of technology, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality. How are they impacting the digital marketing space?
Okay,
in this year of 2019.
Okay, let me try and see if I can predict the future accurately. So, when you hear about artificial intelligence, people might imagine robots and whatnot. Artificial intelligence can be as simple as providing the right questions to customers when they want to, like when they're wanting to buy something, or for us on an online platform, artificial intelligence is just one. We want to show you products that are most likely to sell to you, that you're most likely to buy. We want to show you products that you've recently viewed. So that's a form of artificial intelligence. Okay, augmented reality. I feel it's going to be a big one if we can manage to actually get it right in terms of lowering the costs of actually getting augmented reality graphics done. Okay, augmented reality, a lot of people know of it nowadays, associated with that Pokemon game.
What? No.
With
You're
that
not
Pokemon game.
gonna plug, but there's that hot Disky Skills game.
And there's that. Yes. And there's
everyone knows.
However, since we're focusing on the online retail side of things, it's being used by online stores where you're able to go into an online store, find a table that you want to buy, be able to view that table, in within your space at home, on your floor at home, and be able to see what it would look like if it was where you wanted it to be before you actually place an order for it. So augmented reality, that's going to be a really, 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 really big one for online. Yeah.
So, okay, cool. So my last question is something that I think we had also spoken about with you, which you wanted to touch on. I'm going to swing this in a different way here. We got an email from Temba Smooth One. His message said, "I am an artist. I am dope at my kasi. They call me Smooth." Anyway. What up to Temba Smooth? Shout out to please holler at Temba Smooth.
Hey, Temba Smooth.
Sure, Temba. He says they call him Smooth in his hood. Now, Temba, you wanted to discuss the concept on conversion and return on average spend. How do you explain that? Holler at Temba. How would you explain that those online concepts? To TeethSwag Ndarkie and Temba.
Okay, so conversions is when you're referring to online will be the amount of people that converted that performed a particular task that you want them to perform when they land on your website. So conversion can be how many people sign up,
okay,
how many people subscribe to maybe newsletters or subscribe to actually buying your items, okay. And it can also be a matter of like how many people, how many streams, how many complete streams, or how many people, what's the last one? Bought your product, bought your item. Okay, so your return on average spend when you are marketing your product online is that, for example, is Temba a musician? Music.
He's the hardest dude in his
class. Like hardest dude in his class. Okay. Okay. So
I am an artist. I am dope at my kasi. They call me Smooth.
Okay.
That's all we know about Temba.
Okay, so we don't know whether he makes music or whether
Temba's
he creates,
hot though. That's all that.
Or whether he creates hot. Okay. So with regards to your return on average spend, how many people are buying? How much money are you making compared to how much you are spending to get people to see and to learn about your brand? Okay. How much are your returns? Is your return more than what your profit margins are? Okay, or is it less? Does it is your return over what your costs are? And your expenses. So that's what return on average spend is. So if you spend, if you spent 100 rand making your art, and your return is $90, okay, it means that you made a loss of 10 rand. Okay, so those are just things that you just need to just monitor when you're advertising online.
You had wanted us to touch on these two things. So you were just saying that these things are just important for people to be aware of and understand.
They're very, very important. Yeah.
If
you're spending online and you are not getting returns, it's a bad, you're doing something wrong, but that's just bad.
And if you're spending online and you're not tracking your conversions, you're just
throwing money away. Just give it to me. I'll give him a bank end details. That money, you're just wasting money.
I'm good.
One last question. This is the last one. So you get a WhatsApp from a young lady you're dating. She says, "Wale, I just saw this lovely dress on your online store. Please get it for me." Will you go to the warehouse and pull that dress for that young lady and deliver it to her?
That's the hottest question. That's the most beautiful.
I don't have blue ticks on my WhatsApp, so the message was never read and I never received it.
That is cold. That is cold.
I think we're ready to wrap this show up. On that note.
Exactly. The future. What does the future have in store for one?
I honestly don't know. All I know is that I will just keep, moving forward. Because like my motto is strive for progress, always. Okay, not perfection. So there's just always going to be something more and more in the future because you know we're always progressing. That's yeah.
No, Wale. Thanks for coming to the show, man. Thanks for coming to the show. I'm very interested, and we'll figure something out. But I'm very interested about this thing of educating people about the online world, especially locally, South Africa, African people. I'd wish we find some kind of sweet spot there. I'm very interested in that, and I think it's a beautiful initiative. And I think it's thanks for coming. Thanks for making time for our show. Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
And, guys. Thanks for the invite.
Sure.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the coffee and the Red Bull.
For sure. And of course,
Sorry,
the sponsor of the show, good old Coke, they'll never go out of business. That's why they're the sponsor of this show.
They're not the sponsor. They ain't the sponsor. Ain't the sponsor yet.
On that note, you know where we are by now. We are on Insta. We are now on YouTube with 2 episodes being recorded by our good old Alfred Hitchcock over there. Hit us up, comment, subscribe. You need to subscribe, as we heard now. This is where you need to be. These comments don't come with conversions. You need to come through and subscribe. You need to come through and subscribe. You know where we are. Episodes are coming out. Make sure you do the right thing. This is Ndarkie. And